these top teams are gonna start doing some really interesting things, and the matches are gonna get really, really good as we go further into this league.
Yeah, you've got tank picking coming now. There was a
We
brief
didn't
timeout
actually even
called
do
by FHS.
predictions, but I was actually going
Ugh.
to, yeah.
I was going to do 4-2 most likely. I think I would have probably said 4-2 Burbology.
I was thinking
I will change it now. I'm being honest because I would change it now if I could.
I was thinking a tiebreaker. And I didn't know who, because both of these teams have really good skilled players. Both of these teams have good callers. And I feel like it just depends on the map and who brought it today. Who's in the zone? And I'm not talking about in the zone auto zone. I'm talking about in the zone playing
not
tanks.
A sponsor.
They're not a sponsor, but PaySafeCard is.
PaySafeCard is exclamation point PSC as we go into the first round on Tundra. FHS in the lead, trying to get another victory up, bringing a 113, a 60 TP, a 50B, a Cron, and double VZ. Burbology bringing double IS7, a 277, two VZs, and a bat chat played by Muscles. Muscles playing that bat chat quite a bit this season.
Correct.
And playing it very, very well.
And before we go into these matches, I would like to remind the viewers that actually FHS did call a timeout during that. So that might have, they probably were discussing how to play Tundra.
Yeah, because that was Burbology's pick, and we haven't seen a lot of it. And the defense is very favored on Tundra. That should be known, and it is a very awkward way to play it. For those that have not seen it in this format, the spawns are completely different from standard battle. You can see it's more of an east-west fight as opposed to a north-south. And the cap circles, the southern one is in that riverbed, and the northern one is kind of sort of close to where it is in standard battle. It's just some of the undulations of the hills, the terrain, ups and downs makes things a little different, but the map is small, but the initials are so important because once you kind of lock down some of these lanes, it's very difficult for the attacking team to flex north to south without being spotted. And once they commit anywhere beyond the 6 line, they're really committed. They can't really go back once they go into A3 or they go into K2 or they go into the middle. So initials really important. Chase and Bix over here hanging out in their autolers, just staring at that line in an echelon and hopefully in their minds ready to go north if the push comes that way. But most of Burbology is kind of chilling, relaxing. Most of the tanks at B9 ready for a northern play or a flex south because they're already up on that high ground. So if they decide to flex south, they can get up to top speed really fast.
So what do you call him? Ober?
Isn't he Bix?
Was that his old name?
Yeah, Ober Feldwebel Bix or something.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
December taking a hit. The pushes on the double IS7. Only taking one shot of damage, but using his kit, and then Major Pain takes a hit for 360, I believe, from it was not.
I forgot
Chase.
He had a really long name like that. I've always just called him Ober.
Honestly, I should just change. And I think I started calling him Bix because he had a really long name, and then it was.
I mean, we're not calling him Uber.
I'm a boomer here, chat. I hate all these players that change their names every 3 months in game, but you can see here counterplay coming from FHS. They're going to round this corner. They're going to go straight for December. They're calling the bluff. God. They hesitate, though. Fishy's hesitating.
It's actually... No, I think it's a good hesitation. I think they just realized that it was a bait, because it actually was.
It was, hold on. This may not be the right play. Hold on. We don't necessarily have to do it.
It would have been really good if they did this, because everybody has shots of easy. The 277.
You called it.
The bad shot.
You called it. This was the caller or someone said, we have to go. Everyone group up there and push. And then someone Fishy or otherwise went, hold on. Like, someone probably called it off. Whoever it was, whether it was Knight made the call or Chase, all these guys have played together so much that they can do that, and maybe
I think the only person that could stop Chase from pushing is probably Knight, which is hilarious. Or maybe Knight called it, because remember, Knight is really good at calling bad repushes. So maybe Knight was like, "Let's push this," and then Chase was like, "I'm the caller. Shut up,
Knight." And it was a good call. And it's important for callers on these teams and players on these teams
Correct.
to feel comfortable with each other,
Mm-hmm.
to be able to call over
Yeah,
each
like
other.
it's
when
not
it,
like
when
they're
it comes to
arguing
it
or anything.
and
For
not
those of
have any
you,
ego.
right? I definitely could say that I literally have played with both of them a good amount of time. It's not like Knight's not gonna be sad about it or anything. It's just one of those things where when you get into that relationship, that's literally what you'll do in that scenario. You'll literally be like, no, shut up, don't do that, because it's just in them. Because sometimes that's like the only way to get them to stop pressing the W key.
Yeah,
Especially with those good players, they would have went 100%, no hesitation, and group group fire and everything.
and the worst thing would have been if they went halfway and one person continued
Correct.
and the rest stopped. Muscle's coming in here, going straight for Chase, but now veering off the path. Maybe gonna
No,
go
he's
back.
he's
I'm
trying not to get
sure.
proxied. Because he got in here for free.
Oh,
He's probably looking to get. Oh my Jesus!
That's
Look at this bleed.
really big.
Yeah.
He's gonna get some free shots in the fissure. He's gonna aim.
He's gonna
all
take his
the way
time.
in. Take his time. Get those shots out. He is detected now by Vova. He'll fire one more and back off.
That was really
And
good
here
shot.
comes Knight in
Ooh!
on him. So Knight actually flexed all the way south. That is
Correct.
a change. And Muscles
I think
has
he
to run
probably doesn't get out. I don't think he gets
shouldn't
out.
be able to make it out.
Knight's gonna get this shot.
Knight's gonna chase him and probably finish him here. And
Yeah.
down goes Muscles. So interesting. They just assumed probably Knight was north because I think he was lit there early in December,
Correct.
getting shielded by Major Pain here. Major able to absorb a shot, trying to keep his teammate alive, but Knight picks him up from the mid, and now
That's
running.
not only his teammate, that's his brother. He was trying to save his brother. The stakes are high.
Neck and neck as Over goes down. Now Major Pain is going to go down, and there will be 3 tanks left for Burbology after that, as Major's side skirts heat is absorbing very well in the Space Storm and the IS-7 there, and he doesn't actually go down yet. Now he goes down to Knight, picking up his 3rd kill of the round.
Yeah,
and
Flounder had a
October trying to
really
be
long
careful here,
reload.
getting the he misses
Oh,
the first
what
shot,
the heck?
and he gets the 2nd and barely survives. That was could have been catastrophic there.
Yeah,
now it's
that
a
could have been way
3-on-3,
cleaner.
and the HP is 1 game in favor of FHS. Flounder, big boy, 60 TP, tier 10.
He probably
Polish
just needs
heavy.
to. Yeah, he needs to take those hits. Looks like Kenway is coming in. Vamos,
And
vamos,
Knight may
Kenway,
get the rank kill.
vamos!
It's not quite enough. He may have to finish if Knight cannot. He needs to get his big alpha onto Kenway is what he's thinking, and he will for
Correct.
700 damage. A little
And
bit of a
it
low
is
roll, but it's
3-0.
yeah.
Unless Octo would literally have to like ammo rack Knight. You know what I mean? Like that's literally. If we literally have to ammo rack Knight, because then like Kenway could have maybe taken. I mean, it probably still would. It's kind of over.
That was interesting because the little thing that happened there was Knight flex south after starting north, and we talked about Ober, the 50B, and the VZ played by Chase being south at the start, and then they rotated north. Then Chase stays south, and Knight comes south, and Ober's north. So Ober's lit north after being south. He's the 50B. They had to have assumed when they put Muscles in there that Knight was not there. That's the only reason that he did that, because if Knight isn't there, that play is fine because nothing can play. They just assumed because the 50B had already rotated that
Okay,
the
so
113 wouldn't have rotated
I
south
have
when the
to
50B
cut you off.
rotated.
I have to cut you off. Knight got 6 kills. He killed the whole team.
Wow. I saw the first 3, but dang, he got all of those kills.
He got all of them.
That is 122 fantasy points.
Is that the not one rider? God dang, brother man. He did so good.
And I'm sure more important to him, being up 3-0 against Burbology. My goodness. Maybe today's just not Burbology's day, but again, they don't look like they're necessarily playing poorly or their strategies are poor either. That little interplay to let the bat chat played by Muscles get in there unspotted was very well done.
True. It really comes down to this, right? You have a lot of guys on FHS. Like now you have like the okay, if I'm recalling this right, Knight has played small format with these guys before. These same guys, right? So you're kind of having like that original team back together. And maybe that's all they needed. You know what I mean?
Maybe. It just feels like a different team than it was before. Like it feels like whatever they do is decisive, except, well, even it was decisive that cartoon moment of them, like, screeching the brakes as they were making that round at that corner with Fishy in the front. was very much a, like, hold on. That was the only indecisive,
we've
but they were
talked about this
decisive in
before.
stopping.
We talked about this before, I think, a little bit too. We've said like you know, there's a lot of good players that play this game that have no strategic value on your team other than that they can shoot stuff really
True.
well. You know what I
True.
mean? And then
Yeah.
there's guys that not only can they shoot stuff, but they can help mid game and they can see something that somebody else doesn't, that the caller doesn't see and go, "Hey, we should do this." And then the caller goes, "Okay, that's true." They have that trust system. I know those two trust each other a lot. It's actually really good. Um it's actually really good they're playing together because they both plan to go to China together and represent NA over there. So it's kind of like they're kind of bonding in the calling, even though it's like just small format, but just getting those two used to each other and talking to each other like that is really good. Going down the the only reason I'm saying that is because I'm on the team. I'm just hoping that this kind of like, you know what I mean? Makes it a little bit better.
And you brought up a good point about strategic value. Like, it's one thing to say, okay, I'm the 50B, I play here, and I do this, whatever the caller tells me to do or whatever. But in order to become a really great team, everyone has to understand not only what you're doing, what the enemy's doing, and what your teammates are doing, what the caller's doing. It's so much changes in the individual players' understanding. And I remember there was all these things with my players where it was, okay, when we see this is my default is that, unless something else happens. But they knew what my next step would be likely after seeing something, so they didn't have to wait for me to necessarily call it. Correct. And then they knew because we talked about it. It's like, oh, this is what the next step would be. Talk about like someone like externally be like, oh, so after we see that, we're gonna push east. Okay. I know that, and also I've talked about it. I think we should push east. Maybe it was external's idea originally, right? Someone that gives you some strategic value, and that's really important for them not be just the kind of little drones as we go into the
match
fourth round.
4. Were you going into match? Well, yeah, sorry, round 4. It is match
down
point.
0-3.
Correct. Can they?
No one anticipated this. No.
Can they reverse sweep Burbology? Can Burbology reverse sweep?
If there was a team that can do it, it should be Burbology.
It is defense on Tundra. This is it's really hard to lose defense on Tundra given this team's player skill and just experience. I feel like I think a lot of people have talked about this, how Tundra is like really hard to lose on defense, and it's kind of like a lot of people are calling it like the 1-1 map. But
Muscle's evading all the blinds at him too from Ober on the hill. That's really big, but he knows that so this is information that's gone out. Muscles has definitely said getting blinded at from the hill, but Ober also didn't dump his clip in like really, really fast, so maybe he doesn't know what gun it was shooting.
Oh, Chase gets lit.
They can assume now.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, he should be lit by the. Was he lit?
Oh, yeah, and there's taking some bleed. Oh my Jesus!
Fishy down to 1500.
That was 1,000. That was just 1,000 just gone.
And just holding all of their cards close and then pushing in a delayed fashion, not on the initial, but it's still a minute and a half in, and they have triple cap pressure, and they're just saying we're on the offensive, and we're just going to put a high pressure play on a team that maybe they're arguing, maybe they're feeling clumsy right now. Put the high pressure on and go for an immediate recap and 15 seconds.
Kenway can't reset this. Like, I think it has to be Muscles, and they know that. I don't think Kenway can reset this.
They're actually pushing off. Chase is pushing off.
It's bait!
And now he finds him there, and Chase with 2,200 HP in his CS.
What is the cap time? Are they going to cap out? Because I don't think the 60 TP has enough time.
No. They're just driving off. Chase is pushing straight into Muscles. He's going to pick him up here in a moment. Muscles not able to make every shot count, and even if he did, Chase had 2,200 HP. He'll pick Muscles. Now Fishy goes down to Kenway. Knight, though, going in on Kenway. His DPM should be superior, but the HP is really even. FHS up about 2,000
he bounces. Every bounce makes it so hard for Knight to win that.
And when Vova goes down, this is going to maybe swing in Burbology's favor.
Major Pain needs to simp for OP
now. And they're trying to get a lot of low health guns for Burbology, and the 50B
Vovo ends up picking him off. He's looking to come over.
He's trying to get his clip.
Oh, he got caught on fire.
Ober getting the kill, and now it's even in HP, but FHS have one gun deficit, and Knight is caught in a crossfire.
Knight going
Ober's gonna have to
down,
make
making a
his
really good
shots
play.
really count here. He needs to get 3 shots out onto something without getting shot by everything and taking a
Oh,
big
he takes a big
from the
hit.
60 TP.
And they know he's going, and it looks like
October may have
is
been in
looking,
a spot.
The thing is, Kenway can't chase, like, Kenway has a lot of HP, and he's so slow.
Oh, Ober needs to land all of these shots for them to even have a chance, and even if he does, it's not necessarily enough, because it's just Knight in the 113. He's there now. He did a bait and switch, and he's back, and he misses the shot onto the IS-7,
He
and takes
didn't
a big
take his
Kenway
time.
shot as well. Kenway's just feasting the whole game, and this may be the end of the sweep dream.
Look at him! He lightsabered his gun to make sure he doesn't shoot his boy. Oh, but he bounces
on the Knight. And that is exactly what you want to see, is you want to see people being able to shield like that. October is covering Major Pain right now as well. And Kenway knows that he's just 1 shot away from finishing Knight Rider. He just has to make it count, and he does.
And he makes it count! Oh, wow, this is insane. And now Octo is going to go, he's going to go behind him. Yeah, Ober is all alone. Octo is going to start probably trying to get this hold down here on his right side, while the 60 TP comes in. Looks like Major's getting a little aggressive here, so we know that Octo is probably coming. And maybe Ober just goes for it. But the thing is, he's 1 shot for the 60 TP.
Yeah, it's just a thing where now that they've initiated, you know that the VZ's there. Kenway should be arriving any moment. There they are. And down goes Ober. For a second there, though, FHS looked like they had a good chance. Maybe some bounce shots here or there. And maybe even if they stayed on the cap, they actually may have potentially won it.
Correct.
But it would have been close. They then wouldn't have been able to maybe counter push the bat chat and stuff if he did get reset. And this is kind of a coulda, woulda, shoulda thing. I think their execution there at the end there was still fine.
Such a good game, man. That is
it was.
It was so good. Like, that is the kind of game. Oh, man, it literally makes the league worth watching. That is the kind of game that makes the league worth watching, because it's one of those things where when you have enough experience and you watch a lot of these battles, you kind of like, oh, this team is going to, like, with that much HP left, usually you're like, this team is going to win. I had no idea who was going to win, because even though they were a gun up, like, they were utilizing their mobility against them having a gun up. You know what I mean? It was really good. And if Knight would have hit that shot on Major, oh my goodness. Because just to explain it for some of you that are a little bit confused, what would have happened if Knight hit that shot on Major? Major would have been 1 shot for the 50B. The 50B then could have killed Major. And then not only that, he would have had enough probably HP to kill October, or maybe to clip into the 60 TP's butt, because Octo wasn't there. He was kind of playing passively behind Major, so he would have been able to clip the 60 TP maybe for free, giving Knight the opportunity to finish. And then it would have been a 2-1 that quickly. Obviously, a lot less likely to happen, but it is World of Tanks.
Yeah, and some questions coming out. We are on a delay. For anyone just tuning in, the tank picking, for those wondering, it is a back and forth with a 2 maximum vehicle. So only 2 of a bat chat or something can be brought. But that game was, maybe it's Burbology's, the same way that Burbology lost the previous round. They could go, it was Tundra attack.